Have you ever laid in bed at night and suddenly started imagining conversations that never happened? Maybe you picture yourself finally saying the perfect words, becoming successful, meeting someone special, or replaying old moments with different endings. If that sounds familiar, this probably isn't just your imagination. It may be revealing something deeper about the way your mind protects you. Most people think these fake scenarios are simply daydreams, but your brain usually creates them for a reason. When the world becomes quiet at night, your mind finally has space to process emotions you've been carrying all day.
That's why these imaginary scenes often appear right before you fall asleep. One of the most common reasons people imagine fake scenarios is because reality left something unfinished. Maybe you never said what you truly felt. Maybe someone never understood you. Maybe life didn't go the way you hoped. So your mind creates another version of reality where you finally get the closure you couldn't find during the day. It's not because you're weak. It's because your brain naturally tries to complete emotional experiences that still feel open. But there's a deeper reason many people never notice.
Sometimes these imagined conversations aren't really about other people at all. They're about the version of yourself you wish existed. The confident version. The respected version. The person who always knows what to say. The person who isn't afraid of rejection. Every imagined scene quietly reflects the gap between who you are today and who you believe you need to become. That's why these fantasies often feel strangely comforting. For a few minutes, you get to experience the emotions that real life hasn't given you yet. Another interesting pattern is that people who imagine detailed future scenarios are often emotionally sensitive. They don't just think, they rehearse, they prepare, they predict possible outcomes before they happen. To other people, they may seem calm, but inside, their mind is constantly running simulations. Not because they enjoy overthinking, but because they desperately want to avoid pain, embarrassment, or disappointment. Their imagination becomes a form of emotional protection. What most people don't realize is that these nighttime scenarios can also reveal unmet emotional needs. If you constantly imagine being appreciated, you may not feel valued enough. If you imagine someone choosing you, you may secretly fear being forgotten. If you imagine finally proving yourself, you may have spent years feeling unseen. Your imagination isn't randomly creating stories. It's quietly exposing the feelings your heart struggles to express during the day. But here's the contradiction. The same imagination that comforts you can also trap you. Because every hour spent living inside an imagined future is an hour not fully living in the present. The fantasy feels safe because nothing can go wrong there. Real life, however, requires uncertainty. It requires vulnerability, and that's much harder than controlling a perfect scenario inside your mind. Still, imagining fake scenarios before sleep doesn't mean something is wrong with you. In many cases, it simply means you're carrying emotions that haven't found a place to rest. Your mind keeps creating stories because it's searching for peace, understanding, confidence, or connection. And perhaps that's the most human thing about all of us. Sometimes the stories we invent before sleep aren't escapes from reality. They're quiet reflections of the life we're still hoping to build. So tonight, if your mind starts creating another imaginary world, don't just ask yourself what you're imagining. Ask yourself what your heart is trying to tell you. Before you go, if this video made you understand yourself a little better, consider subscribing for more psychology insights that help you make sense of the hidden patterns behind human behavior. There's always more to discover about the mind, and sometimes understanding yourself is the first step toward changing your life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.